Hello and welcome back to Jamie's Wee Podcast, where I am joined by travel photographer Jordan Hammond. On this episode, we will be discussing the relationship between mindset and success as we go back to the time when Jord was fired from working in the supermarket Morrisons and the journey between then and where he is at now. From what his parents think of his career to the difficulties maintaining friendships back home, how he was pushed to the point of being broke and being close to giving up several times, plus how he managed to overcome all of these tough times to endure to the point of success. Jord talks about how he maintains his mental health, as well as some hints and tips he can give other photographers who may be currently suffering mentally, financially, or from a complete lack of motivation. So let's discuss the challenges that you have faced along the way. Obviously, you have had a lot of success, but success does not come with its challenge. Now, I want to start first and foremost with your family, because I know you're a big family man. You're very close to your siblings and your parents especially.
Yeah.
Has been away from them for long periods of time. Has that been difficult? Has that been a challenge for you that you've had to overcome?
Yes, but initially, yes. I'll try and explain. So when we moved to China, we didn't go home at all. And then we went traveling for 4 months, didn't go home. So I was actually apart from my mum, dad, and younger brother for 16 months, which I don't ever want to do that again. I have zero fucking interest in going that long and not seeing them. It's too long. It's too long. Life's too short. That's too long. For me, that's it. No one will ever convince me otherwise. But now as time has gone on, and I'm just used to this lifestyle now. That this is the way I live. I mean, I don't see him I still see him every 2 or 3 months. So yeah, I'd say that between every 2 and 3 months, I'll go back home and see them. So it's kind of enough time actually for me. Like now, I think that I'm kind of used to that way I live in, and because I really appreciate the time I do have with them when I go back, and I think it'd be very different if I was living in their pocket.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So it's nice just to dip in and out.
Yeah, and I think it's the same for them. You know?
Yeah.
I don't need to be there all the time, and I'm sure my mum would say otherwise, but I don't need to be there all the time, and I don't think they need me there all the time either. And when we do see each other, we do really nice things, which you know, me and my dad go away on holiday a lot. We go travel a lot. We've done a lot of trips in the past few years. My mum came out to Bali with my stepdad. I've had my brother come out to Bali. I've done European trips with my brother, and we just make good shit happen when we do see each other now. And it's better that way, in my opinion. You know, I think maybe we would, when we had a lot of time around each other, you kind of get comfortable around each other. You just sit on your fucking phones. I sit in my room on my Xbox. We don't really have, I don't know, do we really have that quality time? It makes you wonder anyway. And of course we did at times, but I think now it just feels right.
Yeah, do you think you've got the perfect balance?
Of course I miss them. I'm not like a nut job. And, you know, like my brother lives in Dubai. I've got a sister who lives north of London, which if you live in Southeast Kent, you know, when you go back, it's a bit of a pain in the ass / you kind of can't be asked sometimes because it's, you know, I could go up there, but then she's working long hours and I want to see my mates. My family who are close to home want to see me. You know, everyone's pushing and pulling in every direction. So it's kind of hard to try and fit it all in. But yeah, man, I mean, I rambled again, but I do miss my family for sure.
Yeah.
But also very grateful we're able to do these trips and stuff, you know. Like I had some of the best times of my life, mate.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. I mean, what you do is obviously giving you the platform to be able to provide these trips and show them another side to the world. I'm sure that they may never have seen, or maybe may never have been open to go and see without your.
Yeah, maybe. Life isn't binary, but I mean, just very grateful that we were able to do some of this stuff. You know, I mean, it's not like I'm going to send in some fucking crazy penthouse apartment in New York and stuff like that, but we have good times, man, and that's what it's all about. Especially stuff like.
I was just going to say, it's one of the biggest things that I admire about you actually is how close you are to your family. It's one of the things actually, it's probably the most relatable between me and you is how much I admire how much you're close to your family and how much you like that's valuable to you. It seems to be more than anything else that you place value on.
Yeah, absolutely, dude. Like this whole coronavirus shit is annoying. I don't want to be, come across as like a selfish little brat or anything, but I really want to see my family, man.
Yeah.
It's weird because I may have, sorry, I mean chocolate. I may have gone this amount of time anyway without having seen them, but now it almost feels like it's been a year or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like it's been a long ass time. So I value spending time with them above all else.
Yeah.
Getting to, yeah, sometimes I might go home and go a bit nuts and then just go and see my mates for 4 days. As soon as you get home, I'm on the train to London. I'm going to get pissed off and I'm staying with them for the weekend. It's okay. Like, it doesn't matter. But seeing them is so important, dude.
Yeah. What do your family think about what you do? Have they always been supportive, or are they quite happy with what you do?
Yeah. They've always been pretty supportive about it. My mum was, if we're talking about going to China, I think my dad was definitely more open to that in the beginning, and he thought, yeah, that's cool. I mean, I remember when I got fired from working at Morrisons, I told my mum, and on the end of the phone, she's like, "You fucking what?" kind of thing, like.
Yeah.
But I called my dad after I called her because I thought he's going to take this better than that, and he was like, "Oh, fair enough, mate. I mean, you don't want to end up there anyway, so don't worry about it." I was like, "Thank God you're like that." Yeah, but I think with the China thing, my mum was a little bit hesitant, and with the photography thing, I think maybe neither of them really understood kind of how it worked in the beginning, which is understandable. But they've always been supportive of it though, even if they didn't understand it, they were always really like the kind of photos I was creating and stuff like that. So yeah, very lucky, man, that they felt that way, because there are people out there who don't have that kind of support, and I struggle to imagine what they must be like.
Yeah, very, very difficult.
But yeah, I mean, my dad had logbooks, man, of my Instagram followers, where he would have day by day the exact number of followers I've got. He sent me a photo the other day on Facebook telling me like when I got 100,000 followers past one of my friends.
Wow.
Day by day, written in the book, dude. Like I'll try and pull it up now because he sent it to me, and he used to message me about it all the time, and he still sometimes messages me like, or if we're on the phone, he'd be like, "Oh, that photo last night didn't do as well as some of the others did it, mate. I think it was because of this." Or I'll put a photo of this fucking average bridge on my stories, and he's like, "Mate, you got to post that. Yeah. You got to post that photo of the bridge." I'm like, "No, I don't think you understand. Like, I would never post that." He's like, "No, trust me, mate. They'll love it. Yeah, it's got this, it's got that." But yeah, they're pretty into it, dude. This is kind of funny.
That's amazing.
Yeah. He sent me this. I mean, it's just a screenshot of my follower growth from Social Blade. Once I told him about Social Blade, I think the logbooks ended, and he just started tracking it there. So funny.
Oh man, that's pretty sweet though. That's pretty sweet, man. I've had the pleasure of meeting your dad, and he's an absolute don. He's a legend, a very down to earth guy, a proper Londoner. But you can tell he's really into what you do, man, and he's into the people around you as well, which is really sweet, man. A really good guy.
Yeah. He's a good dude, man. Yeah, although he's not from London.
Is he not? He's got that accent, no? I mean, I'm from Scotland. Everyone sounds like they're a southerner. You know what I mean?
Londoner.
Oh,
yeah. I think he just tried to sound cool around other people. But he was born in Evesham.
What's that?
And he grew up. I don't fucking know, man. He grew up north, and then moved to Germany as a kid because my granddad was in the RAF. So he's kind of been all around.
Yeah. So maybe that's where you picked up the travel bug then.
Maybe, God knows.
Subconsciously.
But like him and my mum, my dad and my parents have always encouraged me, and even my stepdad too. You know, they've always encouraged me that, and told me that the world's your oyster. I remember my mum saying that all the time. The world's your oyster. You can do what you want. At the time, I thought that'd be fucking stupid. But that does kind of rub off on you. I think when you're told that. Yeah.
No, I think we've touched on this. We've touched on this in the past, but I'm just going to move on to the next bit. We've touched on this in the past about friendships and stuff. Is it hard to maintain genuine friendships when you're always so busy and on the move?
Yeah. Do you think so?
I mean, for me, I'm very lucky that I've got friends from school and I've got a friendship group from when I grew up that I know they're always going to be there, and we always keep in contact and stuff like that. But again, as we spoke about in the past, people do fall away, and then you do meet people on the road where you always you question their motives or what they may be trying to get out of you, or I think you're more cautious when you're on the road. A lot of people have got great intentions when they meet you because they want to meet you and they want to be around you and talk about experiences and exchange information and stuff like that. But I think especially with your platform and the level that you're at, I'm sure you must be a little bit more wary about what people's agendas may possibly be to meet you or to be around you or to try and get your friendship.
Oh, well, I'm always happy to meet people. Let's get that out there first up. Always happy to meet people, man. More interested when they say, do you want to grab a coffee or a beer?
Yeah.
I like beer more, but when it's on that kind of level, then, it's kind of human. It's not what I don't fucking really like. And I think it runs the same for a lot of other people. It's just when people hit you up out of the blue, you never spoken before. Hey, and they kind of make it about themselves. They're kind of a bit selfish about it. They're like, hey, I want to come and shoot with you because I want to learn about photography. I'm like, oh, well, that's wonderful. I'm really glad that you want to learn about photography, but like, doesn't that seem a bit weird? Like, you want this, you want that, and we're all just expected to come out and how you do this and that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, I'd love to pick your brains for a few hours. Yeah, I'm sure you would. I'm sure you would. So would loads of other people would love to pick my brains. But maybe if you worded it a little bit differently and said, oh, yeah, do you want to go for coffee? Or, oh, I found this really cool place like in Bali that I've never seen photos of it before. Would you like to kind of go together? So a dude messaged me last night, man. And I should have replied last night, but I was pretty tired and I thought, yeah, I'll do it tomorrow and I will do that after we get off this call. But he was just this dude from Denmark. He's been in Bali for the past he's been like pretty much in lockdown in Canggu for the past 6 weeks. He takes photos and stuff. He just sent a really nice normal message. Hey dude, are you still going out to shoot? Because I'm going nuts. I've just been staying inside for like 6 weeks. If you're in town and you have any free time, I'd love to, grab a coffee with you and maybe we, if you're going on any adventures. I thought, man, that sounds fairly normal. Like, yeah. Fucking come along. Why not?
Yeah. That reminds me of the first time that we met. Actually, I remember where we first met. I was with Jonas, our mutual friend Jonas, and I was with Ivana as well. I think we were there for breakfast, and Jonas was like, "Oh, there's Jord," and you came over. I think you were maybe with one of your mates. You came over and started talking away and introduced yourself, and I introduced myself, and then when you went away, and then Ivana was like, "Oh, that was Jordan Hammond." And I was like, who the fuck's Jordan Hammond? I was like, oh, he's a nice guy. He's a nice guy. And then obviously she showed me a profile and stuff. I was like, oh, he seems like a good guy. He's really nice and that. And then I think because of a mutual friend, Jonas, we arranged to just go for beers one night. And then that was it. It was never, I don't think we spoke about photography or Instagram or social media or anything like that for maybe the first, 10 times that we met up ever. We never discussed anything like that. It was just like, try to grab a beer and just go and fucking have a dance and
have a boogie.
Aye. That's kind of how our friendship started.
And the number of conversations I've had with people here, and it's just always go back to Instagram. Man, shut up! I look at that fucking app every day of my life, all day, every day. I don't want to talk about this right now. Maybe it's a bit different if there's a hot topic or something like that, but I don't want to talk about that all the time just because I do it for a living.
Yeah.
And it's like when people come to Bali and they're like, hey, let's go and shoot. No, maybe I don't want to go and shoot. I live here. I like being at home. I like spending time myself. I like hanging out with my fucking cats. I don't want to go and shoot all the time. It's kind of my home. Do you know what I mean?
You don't want to shoot on your own doorstep.
Nah, but you also... but on the other side, I do like to hang out with people. It's not like I'm just like, nope, I want to meet you, that's it. I'm not that kind of person. But
it's more about...
Yeah, I did go through a stage of being wary of people, but I think I'm pretty quick to pick up on, maybe what people are if people are out to get something now.
Yeah.
So I try to pick up on that, but I also I like to give people the benefit of the doubt.
Yes.
Yeah, I think it's important too, because you may assume that someone's after something, but then it's assuming that people were doing anything or thinking something is kind of wrong. You shouldn't assume anyway.
Yeah.
You know, to see what they're about, try it out. If
Yeah.
you don't enjoy it, it's fine. Don't speak to them again. Doesn't matter. They'll move on.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's plenty of other people they can talk to.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely.
Same as you.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
But yeah, maybe more wary, like, in the beginning, like say when I went home for the first time, after I'd come back from China in that 4 months of travel, right? I had like 20,000 followers, and I went to the pub in my hometown, and I didn't fucking speak to anyone from my school, man. Like I said earlier, school wasn't that great for me like the last few years. I didn't really speak to anyone. I had a few. I mean, I had like one good friend who I still speak to now. He's just an awesome dude. And yeah, like I went back to my hometown, and he was like, "Oh, do you want to go get beers at the pub in town?" I was like, "Yeah, sure, why not?" And all these people fucking coming up to you, man. Oh, I can't believe like all the things you're posting on Instagram and all this stuff. That's the kind of shit I'm worried about, because like, man, you're a fucking asshole. Like,
Yeah.
You're fucking not a nice person like a few years ago. So like, what's changed? Like, why the hell are you suddenly interested in what I'm doing?
Yeah.
So yeah, but I mean, I try not to be too like skeptical of that. I don't think.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, of course, man. I understand. Well, but how many times have you, like, obviously you've been chasing this dream of being a professional photographer when it changed from a hobby to an interest? How many times have you been pushed to the point of being pretty much completely broke and having to go back to work?
Just once.
Once?
Yeah, just once, and I was like, I'm not doing this again.
Yeah.
It was in 2017, April, May, maybe something like that. It's hard to remember exactly when, but we were in Bali, and I remember just thinking that I can't remember what it was, but like, it wasn't really any work coming or anything like that. We kind of went. So we had that 4-month trip, and then we went back home for Christmas for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And we flew back out to Asia, went to Shanghai, Philippines, Japan. We ended up in Bali again, and I was like, I don't know, I can't remember. It's hard to remember the exact details now, and it's that long ago. But I know we were pretty much dead broke. I'd borrowed a bit of money from my dad to try and keep it going and stuff. And I don't know. I think maybe I was just caught up in the whole traveling thing and not actually really sitting down and thinking about making money. But yeah, every point we had like 300 quid in the bank. So I didn't even have enough to get home. Neither did Soph. So, yeah, I mean, we were just like, we got to fucking figure this out right now. I think a job came through. We kind of looked for a product photography job, or reaching out to brands, trying to get something like that sorted out. And yeah, it just clicked. We were just like, it's either I'm going back to China to teach English. I can't see myself going back home because I don't know. I don't really want to live in England right now, and at the time that's something I didn't want to do. I didn't even consider that. It was either I'm going to go teach again, or I'm going to figure this out. And I guess we just figured it out.
Yeah. Was it at any point? Have you ever felt like giving up at that point, or at any other points?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I felt like giving up more times than I've been broke.
Yeah.
Because I just, maybe I'm taking too many client jobs, and they're not particularly jobs that I really enjoy. And when the love for it starts to almost fade away because you feel like it's just been sucked out by these shitty jobs that you take just for the money.
Yeah.
Because at the time you're like, oh yeah, money, great. That sounds awesome. Like, yeah, let's do it. I didn't really care about the job. Like, I just want to make money. And you end up working for a shitty client, or the deliverables are way too high. All these different factors that can come into it. Yeah, I felt like quitting more times than I have been broke for 100%.
Why didn't you give up in those moments?
I guess I'm just obsessed with it. Yeah, I love it too much. I can't, I think that's when I don't have a very straight head, where I might consider that. It's not a very rational thing for me to think. I don't think anyway. It's usually when I've not been in a very good mindset. I think maybe I've been eating shit food. I've not really been working out. I'm not sleeping like decent hours. I'm spending way too much time on YouTube watching videos. I don't know, procrastinating, and then I'm just like, in my head I'm spotlighting all the shit stuff that's happening. So then and then I just relate it back to photography for some reason. I'm like, no, I don't want to do this anymore. But yeah, since since I started, I've enjoyed it a lot more since I started taking less client jobs, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man. The whole reason I started doing this was to work for myself, not for other people.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. If the other person is the right person and the job comes up where it's like, actually, yeah, this is a really good fit for my brand, and this is something I would really love to get involved with. Then yeah, I'll do it. But I think, yeah, I just went through a phase of like not good for you. I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, you got to make ends meet, but when it's not a case of making ends meet, and it's just kind of, maybe it's just greedy, maybe it's just, I just want the money. Gets to the point where you're like, I'm actually fucking hating this right now.
Well, that leads me nicely into the next point, man. I was going to ask you, has being in this business ever had a detrimental effect on your mental health?
Yeah, I was not in a little while.
Yeah.
In all honesty, actually, no, lie. I would say last year. Can't remember exactly when. Latter half of last year, I just remember thinking like, man, like, I mean, I kind of just went over that, but I was just like, all I do is fly all around the fucking world just to create for other people. I might as well kind of be back in the office job that I didn't really like, that I was in like years back. Because all I'm doing is just creating for other people. It's not about me and Sophie anymore. It's not about the love of creating anymore. It's just, here's this fat sum of money, go and create this for me. And I think, when I was taking all those jobs, I think it had, sure. Yeah, I was just fucking miserable. Just didn't like it. I was tired all the time, just exhausted. I couldn't think of anything I'd rather do less, to be honest, than photography or anything at that point. I just felt like, it's hard to explain. Because in your head, you're like, oh, this is something I loved, at one point. But now, like, the thought of doing it just pisses me off. I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
But I think it's probably because I lost sight of what it really was that I loved about it,
Just got caught up in it.
Yeah. Yeah, man. I definitely got caught up in the money side of it. And it was, like I said, just being greedy. It's my fault. Yeah.
Did you take a step back at any point, or how did you remove yourself from that?
I did. There was even this job. I think it may have been November last year, man. It's pretty recent. There's another job came through, and it was like, we can. I can't remember what it was. We can pay you like $7,000 for this job. It's in the States somewhere. And the old me would have been like, yeah, okay, sweet. I'll come and take that money off your hands. But yeah, I think I was reached a point where I was like, nah, you know what? I'm not. Sorry, so you've really done that at a bad time. You've cut in the bloody story. Just let the cats in, man. Yeah, I think it's reached a point, man, where like she kind of offered that. I was offered this job, and I remember just thinking like, nah, man, I'm taking the fucking reins in this thing. Like I need to. I want to feel how I used to feel about this. Like I know I still love it deep down, but I need to stop fueling the fire, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So yeah, if taking a job, it would just had to fuel the fire, man. And I just remember thinking like, damn, it's pretty good money, but like fucking miserable right now. So no, I'm not doing it. And after that point, I started work on courses, and I thought that I started to think like, what I want to do is actually give back to people. I think I got into a bit of a rut where I thought, what am I actually doing? What am I actually doing right now? I'm just cruising around, taking Instagram photos, putting up some bullshit cheesy caption. Like it just felt a bit weird. It just felt like it just didn't feel right. And I thought, I somehow tied it in. It's kind of weird that I was teaching in China, but I really enjoyed teaching in China, man. And I thought, wouldn't it be cool to kind of give back to people and kind of, damn, I teach people to do the same thing as I've done. That sounds a bit up my own arse, but I know people want to do it, so why not try and help them kind of pursue that as well? Yeah, that's man. When I started doing the course and started filming it, I got fucking obsessed with it, man. I was loving that shit. Yeah, so it's cool. I guess it's transitioned a little bit more now. And then we also did a trip to Myanmar in February, which was just, man, it was the first time we'd done a personal trip. The last personal trip I did was in June 2019, I think. I did one with my dad to the States in August, September, but, I was pretty much babysitting him for 3 weeks, so it was a bit different. Wiping his arse and all that. It's been a long time since I've done a personal trip, and that's really where it all began, and that's why I fell in love with it. So yeah, I just thought, nah, fuck it, man. That's what I'm going to start doing. And again, I'll figure out a way of making this work on my own terms.
Do you think the quality of your work improved ever since you removed yourself from that process and took a breather and then went again?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, you'd have to ask my followers, but I would say so. Yeah. At that time I was just caught in that rut and just in that cycle. It's not like I edit every single day now. It's not like I'm not in love with photography and anything like that. It's just I take my time. I do things in my own time, and I feel a lot more creative about it, man. Especially when I go on trips. Like we went to Myanmar and we organised a photography tour there for a week. That was fucking unreal. So sick, dude. You get to pretty much creative, like direct, like every shoot that's going on. Yeah, feel a lot better about it all. Especially since I got into the teaching side of it. I think that's really where I want to be going.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, we can touch on the old online course stuff in a wee minute. Yeah. I just want to stick to the mindset stuff, man, because I think the mental approach to this whole situation is quite important. And I just wanted to ask you, how important is having the right mindset being a catalyst in your road to success? Because I know, again, spending a lot of time in your company, it also amazes me how knowledgeable you are about motivational speakers and podcasts and looking after your mental health. You're very proactive when it comes to your mental state. So how important would you say that goes hand in hand when it comes to your success?
I mean, they go hand in hand, I think. Yeah. It is so important, mate, isn't it? Yeah, how do you expect to perform at the highest levels when you feel like shit? Like, you just can't, mate. This is not going to happen, man. It just doesn't make sense in my mind, anyway. Yeah, I mean, one of my friends, I haven't spoken to him in a while, but one of my friends, he introduced me to these kind of podcasts and stuff. At first I kind of thought it was like wacky shit, and I'm just like, I don't know. It sounds a bit funky, dude. He was kind of asking me these questions when we first started hanging out in person for the first time. He was like, asking me these deep questions that no one had ever asked me before. He was like, what 3 things are you grateful for? I'm like, what the fuck are you on about, mate? Like, why are you asking me that question? Why can't we talk about something normal?
Yeah.
That's how I was at the time. But anyway, I started getting into these podcasts and stuff and realized there's a whole nother level to all of that stuff. And I found it really interesting. And I went to this guy's conference last year to, I don't know, that conference kind of changed my life. But anyway, mental health and success, I think, should go hand in hand. I don't know that always. It kind of depends what you deem to be successful as well, doesn't it? I guess. Because not all people that are quite successful are probably, not all of them are going to be in a great mental state. But I think that is one of the most important things to do as well, and surround yourself with people that are going to help you through it as well, and also to cut out the shit from your life too, so it doesn't take you down that wrong path too. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, man. It was like,
gotta have the right support network around you, especially when like, I know it maybe to a lot of people it doesn't look like we put ourselves through the shit. It's not all that meets the eye, we're putting it all on the line, mate. You know,
Yeah.
there are times where we got no money, we're fucking miserable doing what we do, but we're trying everything we absolutely can to try and make it work. Yeah, and if you're trying to do that, you got to surround yourself with the right people, and you got to be in the right headspace.
Yeah, man. I was going to ask you, what would for any other photographer who may be at the point of giving up, broke, struggling with their mental health, what advice would you give them? Because I know you're very much into like the meditation side, routine, stuff like that.
Yeah, some mornings.
Yes.
Yeah. I haven't worked out the last 2 days, and Soph's been telling me that I need to do it after this call, unfortunately.
Oh, man, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry too, dude. I might have to just think and grab some beers and sit by the pool. But I mean, what I would say to someone, what I would ask them is, you know, like, do you really love what you're doing? You find a way through it. If you really love it, you'll find a way through it. If you don't, then probably time to do something else.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, life's too short. I've said it. I've probably said it 3 or 4 times. It's cool, but it's too short to be fucking around doing stuff you don't enjoy.
Yeah, totally agree, man. Totally agree.
Revelation I had from all these client jobs, you know, I was like, life's too short, man. I'm not enjoying this one bit. So things need to change. Yeah. If you really are serious about it and you really love it, you just figure it out, you know. You'll find a way.
Yeah,
I believe that anyway.
Yeah, no, I totally agree, man. I totally agree. Again, just in conversations that we've had, I think you clearly take care of the mental side of things, and you surround yourself with the right positive messages, and you listen to the right podcasts, and you do the right things in terms of, obviously you're exercising now, and you're doing the meditation and stuff. So no, it's very important, man. I think a lot of people will neglect, and again, this is something I always try and talk about and try and touch upon. Regardless of the niche, you can always come back to the mental health aspect. I think in any success, you always have to nurture the mental health side of things. So I think it's really important for people to know the fact that you do meditate, and you do seek self-help, and you do seek these podcasts that provide you.
Yeah, I don't share a lot of that stuff on my stories, probably because I don't know, maybe I just see it as off-brand, and I think, you know, I sometimes actually share podcast recommendations, and I was sharing this thing where, I don't know, maybe I got to a 24-day streak of meditating, and I shared that. Not that anyone gave a fuck anyway, because I think it's kind of off-brand for me. It's not very. People want photography tips, and that's the kind of stuff they want. But yeah, it is kind of. I think it maybe is important to let people know, even if one person replies to it, you know, oh, this is just what I need.
Yeah,
it's not a, you know, just because I said no, it's not about people replying to the story. Some of that stuff is like, no, actually, like I'm kind of human too. I'm not just this dude that sits around and edits photos from you know, like dusk till dawn kind of thing. It's not.
It makes you more human, man. It gives you a better human element, and I think when you share that kind of stuff, it's harder for someone to reach out and show that they engage. They will engage privately, but not always will they reach out. I mean, if you were to share photography tips, you'll get a million DMs, but sometimes when you share something personal or something that touches on mental health, you know, it's usually like a quiet acknowledgement from afar. You don't always get that affirmation or that engagement as you're not, you know, you're used to. You know?
Yeah, it's interesting actually. Like, kind of, it might be cool for some people to hear this. I don't know how long they're going to be able to listen to me talk for, but yeah, it's kind of cool to share that side of it as well, because it's something I don't really talk about on my Instagram, and it's not me wanting to project that everything's okay all the time. It's not that. I think it's just sometimes when you're feeling crap, you're like, I don't want to share this shit either, you know, and I bring people down. And
it's very difficult.
A lot of people have their own problems anyway, so, you know, more often than not, you know, everyone's got their own problems, so you don't want to kind of just put more shit on them.
Well, that's the thing, man. That's the thing that I struggle to find the balance with, is that people come on Instagram to be distracted from the shit that they're going through in their day. They want to see nice places and see things that are not part of their daily routine. So if they're feeling like shit, sometimes the last thing they want to see is someone else feeling like shit. You know, they come on for a distraction, some kind of fantasy or whatever. So it's quite difficult, man, to share this stuff, because, you know, not a lot of people, as much as they're feeling the same way, and as much as a lot of them will engage with it and relate to it, not a lot of them want to hear it as well. So it's a fine balance, man. That's what I find anyway, personally.
Yeah, man. Yeah, but then on the other hand, maybe you know, them knowing that you go through the same thing is also very comforting.
Yes.
to some.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I genuinely think it's something we should all talk about more, myself included.
Yeah. Totally agree, man. Totally agree. Now, you and your other
Again,
half.
following this podcast, that I will talk about it more.
There you go. There you go. We've accomplished something. If nothing else, we've accomplished something.
Something, yeah. We've accomplished two finished beers, but that too.
Aye. No, honestly, man, I think coming from you, especially with the platform that you have, I think that could be very powerful. And not a lot of people with the platform that you have within the niche, the travel niche, not a lot of people talk about it, man. So even if we touch on it every now and again, I think that would really go down well if it was done in the right way, which I'm sure you would do it, you know. So that's quite cool, man.
Yeah, I'd have to be thoughtful about it. But actually, on that subject, do you follow Carl Shakur?
No, I think you've mentioned him to me.
Yeah, I probably mentioned him. Yeah. Well, he did a story series recently, pretty much. Like he's been self-isolating by himself in the States, and he did this story series about how he was just kind of feeling shit and just really not enjoying it and just having a bad time. And he said on his stories, it was actually really touching. And I read that and thought, fuck yeah, man, like. Yeah. Good on you for telling people really how you feel right now.
Yeah.
Because most people, a lot of people just, talk about that stuff. They're like, oh yeah, I'm keeping busy doing this, and this. Yeah, I'm going to run a marathon on my balcony.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing 100 press-ups a day.
Guilty.
Nah, but it was just really refreshing too. Yeah. Not that I'm glad he was sad, but it was just nice to see a more prominent figure in the community actually come out and say something like that.
Totally agree, man. Totally agree. Again, it makes them human.
Yeah, really cool. It totally does, yeah. And then you just connect with them on a kind of a different level almost, don't you? Like you said, they feel human. Yeah. It's not like everything's okay or hunky-dory at the time, but yeah, it was cool. Really good.
I would like to thank my beautiful patrons, Stephanie, Taylor and Annika, who continue to financially support this podcast through patreon.com. If you find value in these episodes, then it would make a massive difference if you were to become a patron too. To find out more about how to sign up and what benefits you can receive, then head to patreon.com/Jamie's Wee Podcast.